Hey there, Capricorn community. Soul Tiger's here with a story. So for this cardinal energy, y'all being number 2, I'm picking up a vibe. But as usual, when I'm calling in your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, as well as divine and universal energy, I don't know what's going to come about. I just pick it up as I'm cleansing out the cards, getting aligned with the frequency, aka tuning in. So what comes in is some of the greatest people in history were called crazy for what they believed in. Even some of who we would say are the greatest minds of their time. But at their time, they were being called crazy. But now we're like, oh my goodness, they were just ahead of their time. So, secrets, naked truth, barrenness, driven by fear of something, drugged down by the weight of others, wandered far from life's path. Persistence is the key to a lot of things we get good at. Doesn't matter. Could be something that's good for us. It could be something that's bad for us. So what we can do is we can be so persistent in something that's not good for us that we get really good at dealing with it, in a sense. I'm not sure. There was one card that came out, and I think this has to do a lot with the squishy side of Capricorn. Some people do know Capricorn does have the fishtail when it comes down to it. Some people only recognize Capricorn as the goat, but there is that fishtail to Capricorn. And for a lot of Capricorns, they are estranged to their emotions. It's something that they don't like to tap into too much. They're so tough on the exterior. It's very rare that you see a Capricorn cry. So let's take a dive into the intro. What is it that needs to come out? We have a contract that's out of balance coming out in reverse. It has to do with something that's out of harmony so far. What else needs to come out for the intro? Oh yeah. Remember I said squishy parts? Let's see, squishy parts. I'm not even going to pre-look at anything. So I have a man here holding a heart. This is in reverse, so this is not a very good man. This is a love bomber. This is a one that shows up whenever it's good for them kind of thing. This is the contract that is unbalanced. For some reason, you overthink this, or they keep you lost in your thoughts. They keep you unassured to keep playing at you. Because in a sense, you are this woman with the coin. You're a provider. There's something here that you're wanting to provide. What is that? A happy family. The ideal outcome. What I'm hearing is prosperity, success, abundance. So what's keeping you away from that? Well, you're running after this one. Whoever this person is that's playing at your string ties to your emotions. There are more than just that possibility there. It could be time to take action. Action towards what? Action towards yourself. What I'm hearing is stop giving your heart away to people who don't deserve it. Stop giving your vitality away to places that don't deserve it. Stop giving your vitality away to places that don't deserve it. Stop giving your vitality away to places that don't deserve it. Stop giving your vitality away to places that don't deserve it. Stop giving your vitality away to places that don't deserve it. Stop giving your vitality away to places that don't deserve it. Stop giving your vitality away to places that don't deserve it. Stop giving your vitality away to places that don't deserve it. Stop giving your vitality away to places that don't deserve it. Stop giving your vitality away to places that don't deserve it. Stop giving your vitality away to places that don't deserve it. Stop giving your vitality away to places that don't deserve it. Stop giving your vitality away to places that don't deserve it. Stop giving your vitality away to places that don't deserve it. Stop giving your vitality away to places that don't deserve it. Stop giving your vitality away to places that don't deserve it. Stop giving your vitality away to places that don't deserve it. Stop giving your vitality away to places that don't deserve places that keep you up at night, thinking, overthinking, overanalyzing. It's more stress than anything. Realizing that there is other opportunities. I've been speaking a lot with this with a person is when one door closes, this is a saying too, usually, or when, let me rephrase that. When one door closes, a window opens up. Some people don't know how to look for the windows that are opening up. And with this one, adjacent possibilities, for the Capricorn in this story, you not only have to look for a window, you merely just have to back away out of this door area, this frame, back away and literally do a full 360 and see what actual options you do have, especially when it comes down to aligning with things that you want to be passionate about. Could be a person, place, or thing. Whatever you were aligning with, it was something that you did the most to make the most of it. Maybe in a sense you did find some kind of stability, even though it left you overthinking, overworking, overdoing things. But at the same time, it was something that was very taking, because it wore you out so much for the Capricorn in this story that it always left you taking action towards other things to fulfill yourself instead of you fulfilling yourself. Don't feel like the oddball out on this one. This is everybody's. But what this is saying is right now, this relationship that you're dealing with, the things right now that you are dealing with through people, places, or things, this is an opportunity for you to learn and see the other possibilities you have. When we see other possibilities we have, a lot of times we're upping our standards. We are creating new boundaries for the things that we will not deal with anymore, aligning more with things that we deserve. So there's something deep down that you really want, and in a sense you want to be holding it too. You want to feel like you can securely have it. What do you desire? That is 8th house Scorpio. I desire. Capricorn, I use. What can you use out of the things that you've learned? What do you have? So whatever you're dealing with, whatever conflict that you're running into that feels like it's kind of like the same routine with people, it is because you're supposed to have a transformation through that relationship. You're, in a sense, supposed to find a new identification of yourself from it. Learn a little bit more of who you are. Let's go ahead and start the present off, what needs to come out. So if you are curious, I do a new moon, full moon interpretation that dives down that rabbit hole that I was just talking about a little bit deeper, because it goes into the mythology behind the signs with the new moon in Scorpio and the full moon in Taurus. So check that out if you get curious about what I was talking about. So strength here, somebody's feeling weak. They're feeling weak. Have this 3 of Swords energy. Feeling weak in the mind, not knowing how to walk away. Not knowing what direction to go, in a sense. So we go from a 3 of Swords to a 2 of Swords. Blocking. This could be blocking yourself since you were younger, blocking yourself because you don't you don't really feel like there is another option that will be more enjoyable. It's like if you were changing jobs, you don't feel like another job would be any more enjoyable, easier to work at, easier to deal with than where you're at right now. Eesh. So, but I want clarity behind this Three of Swords. I'm feeling a little stumped. What is it about this Three of Swords? Clarity card. Ooh, it's a Seven Swords in reverse. You will question your own actions or judgment. Your confidence will be shaken by coming events. Arguments and oppositions to your plans are encountered. Responsibilities weigh heavy on your mind. A price will be paid for facing up to your responsibilities. Keeping your word. And keeping your word. You will experience a loss that cannot be avoided. What we don't see. Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Be warned that wealth can bring a whole new set of problems. Avoid high-risk projects. They will fail. Theft, financial loss, gambling losses. Do not take shortcuts. Avoid temporary fixes to your financial problems. Think long term. Save money. Invest in low risk adventures. If something's high maintenance, have you overworking? Hint, hint. Something else that we don't see. Something else that we don't see. Six of Pentacles in reverse. Limits on your income show no signs of improvement. Bad debt and missed payments. You are out of control financially. Passed over for raise or bonus. Money is lost due to lack of knowledge. Bad time to invest. No support for your business or financial plans. Slander or gossip about you circulates. Ooh, this is all Three of Swords. So also in the new moon, full moon interpretation, it talks about how we're facing a lot of different relationships that have affected us throughout our lives. So what it is you're having like, for some reason, earth signs feel like they have a target on their back right now. Blame Taurus. Do it. Just do it. Want somebody blame Taurus? No, don't blame Taurus. It's because Taurus is the full moon. So Capricorn as an earth sign, you're gonna feel things a lot more intense this time around. But again, you're being put in a spot so that you will make changes, not so that you will go back to whatever was before. Because whatever was before could be the exact thing that has you stuck now and that keeps you stuck now. Because remember, there's something here that's out of balance and doesn't have you seeing those other possibilities. The same thing is somehow tied to your stability. Pentacle, your stability and your thoughts. Remember, overthinking, overanalyzing, not in a good way either. Being left like that. Could be mind games that are being played here. Do not know. What I'm hearing is Two of Swords. Let's go. Two of Swords. Clarity card for the Two of Swords. Ooh. Alright, Two of Swords. This is talking about this block here. Alright, two choices but not knowing. Afraid to go in either direction. No energy. Loss of momentum. Goals have been forgotten. Review and set new ones. You underestimate. You underestimate your own abilities and lack vision. Fear of change or travel keep you from success and happiness. Too attached to your current job or residence. You are inflexible and must respond to changing circumstances here. So, round in this cycle you have been going. Is this the time around that you're ready to get out of it? This is what this is saying. This is something here that I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that. It's just, let's find a different way to say it. Misery loves company. And when you get in a low frequency, such as misery, it's a stagnant energy. It's like what do they say? It moves like molasses in wintertime. So if it moves like molasses in wintertime, then it's very, very, very slow. It could be slow to give, slow to come in, slow to do something different. But whatever it is, it's moving so slow that it's taking the strength, the stability from the Capricorn in this story. Ooh. So let's keep going. Let's keep going. What else needs to come out? Ooh. Here we are. 2 cards. I have a Queen of Cups and the 4 of Pentacles in reverse. Overspent. Overspent and running away from those emotions. Are we running to distractions? Or maybe to things that we feel like other people will come hang out with us and in a sense, it's like attracting things that we've had before. It's not the same old energy, but it's the same energy that we've had before, because the 7 of Cups they could talk about is like almost like past inheritance, past fulfillments, and not every fulfillment is a good fulfillment. In a sense, it's almost like ghosts of the past. So right here, we have 6 of Wands. A lot of play energy wants to happen, and it keeps wanting to refer back to the past. I don't know if there's a past time in the emotions that this Capricorn really felt like was better than now, that was the time that they were able to do a little bit more. If that's the case, then Capricorn has attached a limiting belief that for some reason where they're at now, they cannot do something different. Like what they say, when they retire like a livestock animal, they'll put them out to pasture. Like you're saying that in a sense you've retired from this. You've retired the idea of being able to have that full fulfillment in your world. All right, so let's go for the 7 of Cups clarity. Wow, this is really at a distance with your Capricorn. Holy moly. And it lands face up in reverse. There's no denying it. If you've seen the way that this fell out with so much power, so much conviction. Let's explain this. Alright, 7 of Cups. Someone protects your feelings instead of telling the truth. One person in your relationship will be tempted to betray the other. Flaws in a relationship are overlooked because the positive aspects are worth keeping. Content and happy with the relationship, you see no need to change anything. See? Just like this is the way it is. It's as good as it gets. What about for the Queen of Cups? Oh, Queen of Cups. So you've peeked at this, kind of peeked at it, kind of not, still kind of really confused. The Tower. That's Aries energy. That's awareness, birth of awareness right there. So deep down, the Capricorn feels this. Long-held beliefs and ideas are challenged. Overall chaos, sudden crisis, and misery. Natural disasters, grief over a broken relationship. All aspects of your life are open to disaster. Take action. Trouble will end only after you get rid of something or someone. Later you will realize that these changes are for the best. So even though you look back as like the past time was the grand time, and now this is just what I'm stuck with, person, place, or thing, there's something in you. What I see, it's a spark. There's a spark. Somehow you've peaked something, just like this card did. I don't know if it showed it here or not, but it went, and then it landed ever so carefully down. So there's something that you peaked at. Whatever you peaked at requires persistence in that direction. In that direction. Let's go. Let's go. What's the block? What is it? Let's bring it out, eh? What is this block about? What is it? What is it for this Capricorn community? Wheel of Fortune right here. All right. We have the Wheel of Fortune on the World on the Two of Swords. This Wheel of Fortune's mad. And then I have the World. Almost an upright here. Wheel of Fortune, you're not giving yourself permission. This is Jupiter energy. You don't see how you can manifest something. You're not seeing this with the optimistic view. This is Jupiter energy, but at the same time, mutable energy is around this because this is Sagittarius. I see. Mutable is bringing an end. You don't see that you can bring an end to this cycle. Because we have the World here. The World is completion. Why don't they see they can bring an end to the cycle? What is that deeper look? Why can't they? Oh, because you twisted. Oh, they got you so twisted. Oh, Three of Swords again. Oh, what they're gonna, you have such a big heart. You have such a big heart. This is why you can't walk away, because if you walk away, you're gonna feel bad about leaving somebody out in the cold. In a sense, you feel like you're gonna stab them in the back for being truthful and having this completion and moving on from whatever the situation is. When I said that, it was 24-24 on the original one. I don't know if edits are going to happen. I got to still see. But yes. Aw, don't feel bad. I know it's hard to grow. It can be hard to grow because you don't want to leave the people that have been there from day one. But this is a part of transformation through relationships. There are people that I can acknowledge that come into my life for a certain purpose, for a certain reason. But when their time is spent, their time is spent. Doesn't mean that I'm mad at them. Actually, a lot of times I still love them. But I understand at the core that me and them, we're different. We have different interpretations of what our life's journey is. And trying to sit here and force a relationship with them means that I'm going to have to expend my focus and my energy towards them, when it could be they're not going to do the same for me. There's a reason why I want to move forward. There's a reason why I'm being pushed forward. There's a reason why universe has this kind of lesson here, because everybody in our life is a lesson. From parents, teachers, co-workers, acquaintances, neighbors, cousins, everybody, strangers, everybody's a lesson. It's being okay with learning the lesson and moving on. The only way that this situation can be left out in the cold is if they choose to leave themselves out in the cold. If they choose not to do the work to be able to level themselves up and get themselves into a better spot. That's on them, boo-boos. It's really on them. And I really felt this, what do we say? Drugged down by the weight of others. Right here. And this ties into the stability. This could tie into financial stuff as well. What I'm hearing, if somebody's always having an emergency, always needing you to go off and give them a ride, do something, because for some reason they can't do it for themselves, even though they grown folk too. That means you're spending your time, your energy, your focus, mileage on your vehicle, your gas, all that stuff. So drawing up boundaries and doing for you isn't a bad thing. I always like to point it back. We fulfill ourselves when we can do for ourselves what we're willing to do for others. Are you willing to go to these lengths for yourself, Capricorn, in this story, like you are willing to go for others? That's interesting. That is very interesting. What else needs to come out for the block? So I have the Moon and the Hermit here. Over-trusting of others. Over-trusting of what others' intuition could be, what others are saying. Others could be trying to bring you back to the past playfulness, trying to keep you stuck in a certain area, because I have the Hermit here, Virgo energy, with the Moon card. But this is coming at those playful times. I feel like it has to go back to not wanting to end the cycle. Capricorns have a very, very strong sense of loyalty. When a Capricorn commits, they commit. So what else needs to come out? What else needs to come out? All right. Here we go. So, 10 of Swords. 10 of Wands. There's a fear of unsticking, a fear of unwinding, a fear of unblocking, a fear of unblocking. Why are these fears? What is this fear to let go, to undo? Because of the confrontation it will bring. When it comes to having this tower, when it comes to letting go, when it comes to being truthful. There's a sense where the Capricorn in this story just doesn't want to deal with the resistance. They don't want to deal with the conflict. They don't want to deal with all the opinions of others and all these others and how they're tied to this situation. It feels like a lot of choices are being made for others. What about the choices for the Capricorn? What about the choices for the Capricorn? Why is it that Capricorn can't focus on their choices? What blocks them from that? Eight of Swords. Too much freedom in a sense. There could be a fear of having to become self-sufficient. It's like a person who goes from working for somebody and going off into an entrepreneur kind of thing, or even their own endeavor. It could be somebody who's codependent, who's going to have to work into becoming independent. It's one of those things. It's too much freedom. It feels like they're not going to have the routine that they really want, the routine that they've been working so hard for, that they're willing to offer up so much for, that they've thought about it so much and so much and so much on how to make somebody, something, a situation go into balance. But that's not the key. That is not the key. The persistentness has went off into this direction. But that's not the key. That's not the outcome that's in alignment. It's facing your fear. And that's what it says on the New Moon and Scorpio card. It's facing fears. So if there's a fear of becoming independent, when you're a codependent, if there's a fear of going off and starting your new adventure, you can take baby steps. You don't have to do the full dive right away. It starts with starting to set boundaries and learning how to say no. For somebody who's going off into a new adventure, maybe it's not picking up another job, but working into your hobby and perfecting that skill into your hobby. Or gaining a new hobby, something else that has you doing something different. That could show you how being with yourself is very fun, fulfilling, and loving and transformative type of energy. Ooh. Capricorns, why do you underestimate your strengths? Your strengths, especially when it comes to your emotional resilience. You don't think you have emotional resilience. You always fear that soft, squishy side of yourself. But the whole thing is you have so much resilience in that side because of how much persistence you have. The persistence for the things that you go after. Even after it's rejected you, even after it's telling you whatever you're doing is not good enough, or this or that, do you let that hold you back as you climb those cliffs? No. You get more stubborn and you go up again. So it's like, how can you see that when you're climbing that cliff, that's all you, boo-boos? That's not them. It's not them. The drive of them, themselves, that vessel, that situation is not what's getting you up that cliff every time you go up there before you slide your butt back down. It's about what you're working hard for. That peacefulness. That happiness under a rainbow kind of thing. The thing that you want to help provide for. Be as a team. Be as aligned with it as much as it's aligned with you. So just don't forget that when you're climbing these cliffs for this other one, you are going through and you are seeing those emotions and you are using those emotions in a way that's getting you up there. All right. And it's not the right cliff, probably. It's just not the right one. It's the right one that's going to help you recognize how strong you are. And you might just find this whole new mountainside, cliff, whatever thing that you're good at climbing. And you're going to realize how strong you are, how strong your commitment is, how much you can endure, how strong and how incredible your endurance and strength is when you put your mind to the choices that you go after. Even sometimes when you're confused about those choices. What it is get out of confusion of whatever this other is. This other. Align with your intuition. Align with, this is it right here. Because we have this moon energy here, right? Moon could be Pisces, right? I believe moon is definitely for Cancerian because moon is their planet. But what I'm getting at here is moon represents, it shows where and how we nurture, as well as where and how we seek nurturance. Moon is responsive and adaptable, shows us an area of life where we can create as well, and also like give birth to new ideas and stuff. So it's being able to realize that you have a way that you want something else to treat you, to come in at towards you, whether it's person, place, or thing. Now, if you can climb those cliffs for others, climb those cliffs for yourself. Raise those standards so others have to meet you at those same tops. Instead of them saying, no, you meet me here, kind of thing. Don't let them be above you like that. Don't let them feel like they can stand on a pedestal over a Capricorn. All right, so last card that we're kind of seeing but not seeing. It comes to these others. So one of the fears is that whatever this situation is really knitted into Capricorn's community somehow. And if they go off in their own direction trying to seek this freedom, it's gonna be a release. It's a release that faces letting go to others, few others. And for somebody who's codependent, going from that to even more independent, having less, is a fear. But the whole thing is you're creating your validation, who you are, how important you are, through how many people you have around you. When validation for ourselves is created within ourselves. So let's go ahead and go on to the conclusion. Let's see what it is that needs to come out for the conclusion. All right, divine and universal energy. What is it that needs to come out for the conclusion? So I have gratitude here. How can I be thankful for a situation, something that I'm gonna lose? Well, let's see. Because it's something that has this Capricorn all tied up. Practicing gratitude, being able to move forward, move on, is something that you start to see what you're really blessed with. I didn't even notice this, but I'm noticing it now. I have 2 and 3 here on both cards, 23. So I'm going to go ahead and see what this 7 is about. We'll go for 7-7. So this is a part of a spiritual awakening. You have listened and it's time to reap the rewards. Questioning things, going back and forth with it, is starting to listen. It really is. When you ignore stuff, you're not listening. You feel this dilemma within between these choices here and which way to go, because you're starting to listen to that intuition. Hoo-wee. So let's go ahead and continue. What else needs to come out for the Capricorn community? So we need some better nourishment, better self-care, taking time for yourself, cleansing out, but making sure not to run off and just get things that are easy access to consume. Maybe fulfilling ourselves with fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, things that bring on more nutrients. When we have more nutrients, we're going to have better function of mind, better function of body, better function of spirit, because our vessel doesn't have to fight through processing stuff that's not good for us. Again, it's in a sense like when you overexpend on something that's not good for you, it's causing you stress. It's taking away from your stability. That's like overeating on something that's not good for you. It stresses out your body because your body has to take from itself in order to process it. So are you really feeding yourself at that time, or are you just putting more stress on top of more stress on top of more stress on top of more stress? Being able to eat good food, but also water. Water, 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 water. I always tell my clients, water is like oil to a car, for a car's engine. It helps create less friction and stuff. That's with water in the body and the muscles and the fascia. When we're hydrated, our fascia does not get as stuck, creating a little less tension. And what I notice in my profession that I do is there's better recovery for the vessel when the vessel is hydrated and the vessel has good nutrients. So we also have another card here who lands on that all tied up. We need to have a realization, getting out of the confusion on how this situation plays out. Your strength keeps you tied down to the actual possibilities that are around. All right, let's go ahead and go another card. Change. Coming out of odds ends when it comes to change. Being open. Here we go. What do we got openness to? There's that change. Being open to the adjacent possibilities and the new action that needs to come around to get to them. Yes, 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 yes. The storm. The storm is always the worst. It is the worst when it is at its peak. Chaos is never fun. But when it's over, that's when we have our new start. That's when we have our new beginning. That's when we have that brighter new day. The storms, they don't last forever. They don't. Name a storm that's lasted forever for me, please. Put it down there. I love to be corrected, honestly, because I love to learn. If you can't, then there you go. No storm lasts forever. So let's see. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go for 2 more cards here to round this out. What are the last 2 cards? Protection. Protection, protection, protection. Being able to be okay with trusting in yourself is one of the greatest protecting energies you can give yourself. It doesn't have to be something that's cruel. It's something that can be playful. It's still something that can interact with others. But when you trust in the decisions that you're making, when you take on those new steps on your path to finding your path again, because remember, you're a little wandered off from it, that is protection, because you don't have somebody else who's pulling you further and further away from your path, because they got you pretty far. All right, acceptance. Oh, this is all a part of this feminine energy this month. Acceptance, compassion, kindness, mercy for yourself. For yourself. Acceptance. That this is going to be, this was like this, the dawning of a new day for you. No longer will you be somebody's dancing chicken. No longer will you walk in the constraints of the thoughts saying that these things are not possible, or I think I can't, I think I can't, I know I can't, I know it's not possible. It's freeing yourself from that. Freeing yourself and saying that I can, and I can accept that this is a part of my journey to go off into this new kind of freedom, this new kind of independence. Remember, 8th house energy, transformation through relationships. Then we have that 2nd house energy, which is highlighting Capricorn, identification with substance. How are you going to identify with yourself after you have this transformation through this relationship? What is it? Are you going to identify with yourself and bring more standards about when it comes to interacting with people because you've met yourself on a deeper level? It's a possibility. It is a possibility. But that is all up to the Capricorn in this story. Wow, this went deep. This went really deep. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Don't forget to thank your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, as well as divine and universal energy for coming in and hanging out and being the protectors for all these positive messages here. Now, I hope y'all have a wonderful day, and just know I'm grateful for y'all hanging out. Until next time, bye.